Hello, welcome to the SOLIDWORKS tutorial video for block number one. For most of you guys, this will probably be your first time ever seeing or using SOLIDWORKS, so this video will serve as a guide to help walk you through all the different tools and features of SOLIDWORKS and help you out with creating your block number one. So to begin, we're going to want to open up our SOLIDWORKS. So we're going to want to click this icon. We're going to double click it. We know we clicked the right one when this tab pops up. We don't want to click this one. We want to click this one with a solid red cube, single solid red cube. So once our SOLIDWORKS opens up, we're going to want to click the Open New Document button up here, and we're going to make a new part. So we're going to click on Part, and we're going to hit OK. Now, before we begin anything else, the first thing we want to do, which is a very crucial step, so do not forget this part, otherwise you're going to have to go back, and if you started a drawing, you're going to have to go back and restart your drawing after you fix this. So you're going to want to change this setting first. Right now you see it says IPS, that stands for inches, pounds, seconds. We don't want to be in inches, pounds, seconds. We don't want to be in inches. We want our units to be in centimeters, so we're going to go ahead and change that and click CGS, centimeters, grams, seconds. Now once we do that, we can start sketching out our model. So if you look up over here to where my cursor is pointing to, you can see that there's a bunch of different tabs. The main two tabs we're going to focus on is the Features and Sketch tab. We're going to go ahead and start off by clicking our Sketch tab. Now our Sketch tab has all the tools necessary to create a sketch of a 2D model or drawing. And the idea is that from that 2D model or drawing that you create, we're going to be able to make that into a three-dimensional model. So to begin, we're going to want to click on our sketch function, which is up in the top left corner. Go ahead and click down. And then you're going to see a bunch of different view planes open up. We have our top plane, our front plane, and our right plane. If you think back to the 3D view drawings we had you guys do in class, this is the same thing as your top view, your front view, and your side view. So hopefully you have your 3D view drawing of your block number one out in front of you, because you're going to need it for creating your model in SOLIDWORKS. So if we look down at our drawing, we're going to want to see which plane or which view would make the most sense in creating our 3D model. It's up to you, but the one I'm going to use is the top plane. So go ahead and click your top plane. So now our next step is we're going to want to sketch what we have in our top view of our 3D view drawing of block number one, and we're going to want to sketch that in SOLIDWORKS. So using our drawing that we have out in front of us as a guide, we're going to start off by making that top rectangle. So to do that, we're going to click our rectangle tool, which is right here where my cursor is. We're going to go ahead and click that. And then this allows us to make a rectangle. And so to do that, we're going to click down on our mouse or trackpad, pull outward, and then let go. It doesn't matter what size we make our rectangle as long as we make a rectangle. I say that because we can use a tool up here in the top left corner called Smart Dimension. And Smart Dimension allows us to pick any side we want, and it allows us to modify or decide what we want that length to be. So we're going to click a side, we're going to pull out a little bit, and our dimension is going to pull up. Then we're going to click downward, and our modify box is going to come up. This is where we change the length of that side that we picked. So looking down at our drawing, we see that that side is 1.9 centimeters long. We're going to go ahead and hit the green check mark, or you can hit the enter button, whichever one is up to you. Now we're going to do this top piece. So again, we are already in Smart Dimension. So go ahead and click your side. Same process, pull out, modify box is going to come up. If you look at your 3D view drawing, you see that that side length is actually 12 centimeters long. So we're going to put 12, hit the green check mark, and that is now 12 centimeters long. So now that we have created our top rectangle, we can now go ahead and create the other sides. So let's start with the right side. We're going to go ahead and click our line tool, which is right above the rectangle tool. Go ahead and click it. And I'm going to start off from this corner, and I'm going to pull downward, make sure it's 90 degrees, make sure you have a nice straight line downward. Click down, and we have our line. If we move over here to the green check mark, you can see that it's grayed out and it's not going to let us click it. All you have to do is go back and click on where you started your line. Then it should pop up. Now we can hit our Smart Dimension button, click your side, pull out, and then modify. So in your 3D view drawing, we see that this is 6.4 centimeters long for that line. Now let's go ahead and make the bottom line. So again, you're going to use our line tool. Let's click this corner, pull outward, and then so right now the SOLIDWORKS thinks I'm trying to make an arc, which I am not. So if this happens to you, just move on to whatever you're going to do. So I was about to use the Smart Dimension, so just click your Smart Dimension. It'll turn off whatever it was trying to do. So again, click your side, pull out, modify comes up. We see that this is 9 centimeters long. Hit 9. Now we can do our left side. So let's use our line tool, click this corner, pull outward. Then we can use our Smart Dimension, click this side. And then we see that this is 3.2 centimeters, so go ahead and put 3.2. And then now our last step is to join the end piece of these two lines. So again, use the line tool, click this end piece, click the other end piece, hit the green check mark, and there we go. We have the same exact sketch of our top view in our 3D view drawing now in SOLIDWORKS. So now that we have our 2D object, we can now make this into a 3-dimensional object with a tool. So if we go to our Features tab, go ahead and click it. We're going to use this tool up in the top left corner called Extruded Boss Base or Extruded Boss or Extruded Base, sorry. And so what this tool does is it allows us to pick a face or a piece of our object if it's sectioned off like how we have it. And it allows us to make that flat object into a 3-dimensional object. So right now it wants us to decide on what piece we want to use. We can do both of them, or we can just pick one. It's up to you. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to start off with this piece. So we're going to go ahead and click it. And then we're going to move to the left over here in the left tab. Under direction 1, we're going to go to D1, and that's where we go to modify the length of the piece we selected and change the height or the depth of it. So if we look at the side view in our 3D view drawing of our block number 1, we see that the thickness of that little lip piece is 1.9 centimeters. So go ahead and put 1.9, green check mark again. That is now 1.9 centimeters, and it is our flat image is now a 3-dimensional object. To change views, in case you guys don't know, you can right click. If you have a mouse, right click, hold it, and drag upward or to the different side you want. That's how you change your view, or that's a shortcut to change your view. To go to the top view, which is what we're working with, right click, hold, pull upward. You should really only be changing views when you have your 3D object. You can also use this icon right here to change views. Here it has the different views to pick. You have your front view, your right view, your left view, whatever view you want. You can pick it from here. If you want to look at it from multiple angles, we can click here and have a trimetric view. And that'll give us a trimetric view of our object. But moving on, right click, pull upward to look at our top view, we see that it cut off our that top little rectangle piece. So we're going to have to go back and put that in. So to do that, if we go to our left tab over here, we see that we have history. We're going to want to double click that, and that's going to open up our history. If you double click on the word, it might think you're trying to change the name like you just saw it did right now earlier. So click on the icon if it does that. Double click that and it should pull up your sketches. If you have multiple sketches, it'll show up here. So just hover over it and it'll show you what your sketch was in the orange highlight. So that's the one we want. So click it. It's now blue. Shows that we're working with this sketch. So then go back to our extruded boss or extruded base button. Go ahead and click it. And now we can click our side. I'm going to change to the right view. So now we can see that we've now selected this piece that was cut off. And if we look at our side view in our 3D view drawing of block number 1, we see that this piece has a height of 5.1 centimeters. So go to the left under direction 1 and D1 where we can change our depth or height. We're going to go ahead and put 5.5 and that should change it up. So it's showing us a preview of what it's going to look like. Go ahead and hit that green check mark one more time. And there we go. Our object is finalized. We have our block number 1. I'm going to go ahead and do a trimetric view. There we go. There is our block number 1. So hopefully this video helped you guys working through the different features and tools of SOLIDWORKS. I know it looks like a lot and could be confusing at times, but I really hope this video helped you. If you're still kind of stuck, there are tutorials. So if you click over here in this check mark, there are some tutorials. I know that those helped me out a lot when I was first introduced to SOLIDWORKS when I was in your guys' grade level. So if you guys want, you can check those out. There's a lot of them. Some of them are really lengthy, but there are a few that are really helpful. One last thing before we go, I want to show you guys a very important last step, and that is to actually save your object. So just like any normal file, if you're in design, you should not be new to this. So go ahead and save it. It's the icon that looks like a little floppy disk. So go ahead and click it. And then in the file name, you're going to want to change that to whatever block you're working on. So in this case, we have block number 1. And then from there, you'd hit save. I'm not going to save it because I've already made all these blocks, so there's no need for me to save it. But you guys make sure you go ahead and save it. Otherwise, you're going to go back, open up your SOLIDWORKS, open up your blocks, and see that you've never even saved it. You're going to have to go and redo it, which is a major no-no. So make sure you guys save it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys feel free to play around with SOLIDWORKS, have some fun, click all the features, make whatever you want with it. It's really up to you. But I really hope this video helped you guys. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching.